First thing, this is the chuck key here. Okay? Again, it's just a little bigger, right, for the drill press. All right? This is what type of chuck here?
Jacob's chuck.
Jacob's chuck. Now, we have a couple different clamp setups here. All right? These are kind of like a modified C-clamp, and they're actually made to fit our table here. We can use some of these. Also, we can use quick grips or any of our parallel clamps or anything. And again, it's just to hold the material down. Okay, so depending on what it is, all right, we can always clamp anything down here. Again, you want to make sure it's sharp. Again, this is just a regular steel, high-speed steel twist drill. Okay, these are your standard drill bits. This is probably, if you have anything laying around your house, it's probably one of these. Okay, there's Forstner bits, there's spade bits, there's all kinds of different bits, but for the most part, again, we're just going to be using this standard 1/4-inch bit here. All right. So again, when you put anything in, you gotta. All right, there's 3 teeth that come down that actually hold the bit when you put it in here. So what you want to do is open it up by hand. And again, you notice right here, from here to here is where you put in the chuck. You guys can see this back there, right? You don't want to put the flutes, all right? That's the cutting area of the bit up into the chuck, all right? It'll go way up in there, but what happens is if this thing would ever spin, it's going to strip off the cutting area. So you only want to put it in as deep as the shaft of the bit is. So that's just the round, clear part of the bit here. Everybody understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
So you don't put it into the flutes, all right? Just to the edge here. All right, so just put it in. You're going to have to hold it. Tighten it by hand. Okay? Then take your chuck key and go around to at least 2, 3 holes. They all do the same thing. Okay? But this ensures that you tighten the thing up nice and tight. Okay? So the bit's not going to go anywhere. Okay? When you're done, keep in the tray here. We've never lost the chuck key because everybody always puts it back, so please make sure you do that. Alright. Again, this is the pilot feed lever right here. This is what raises and lowers the chuck. Now the hazard of this thing is this. It's spring loaded and it's a very strong spring. Okay? If you're here and you let this thing go, what's going to happen?
Right.
It's going to be like, Three Stooges style, where this thing's going to come around and hit me in the face, not once, but 3 or 4 times. Okay? If you just drill through a piece of material without a board behind it, you're going to get what's called a blowout. Now, anybody know what I mean? What's a blowout? Marco, what's a blowout? Never seen it happen, huh? Okay. Let me explain.
Can you do a blowout for us?
We're going to do a blowout right now. It's not anything violent, it just makes your piece of material look like garbage. Okay? Alright. So you clamp a piece of material down, it should be the left side, okay, of me. In fact, it should be over there, but since I already have it set up here, that's fine. Okay? The speed we don't adjust until it's fine. Okay? Make sure this thing's at home row, you never start on the material. Okay? Drilling a hole, okay, it's all the same. Okay? Now, what a blowout is, okay, to the back of this, see how that's all splintered? Okay? Remember see it? Get that on camera? Okay? This is a blowout, meaning this, okay? If this was a project that I wanted to look real nice, okay, and I drill through that, obviously this looks like garbage. You can't sand that out. There's big gouges of the material in this. This is called a blowout. So, if you put a piece of material underneath it, what's going to happen when it gets through?
It's going to keep going.
It's going to keep going into the other ones, as if the material never ended. Right? So when you take a look at the back of this, it's going to be nice and neat because it's supported by the material you have underneath it. So it doesn't matter what you put underneath. Okay, as long as you put it there so that you don't get any blowouts. Again, I'd like to have this to the left side here. So again, these clamps will work. We also have our vise here. Okay, depending on what you're doing. Okay, the steel vise should hold it. If the vise tends to move too, we'll clamp the vise as well. All right, but either one of these are acceptable holding devices. Either using that little clamp there or using the vise to hold your material. You just have to make sure you have something underneath it when you drill.
There's a V thing.
So again, now when I drill it, I'm going to have a piece of material underneath it. Also, you always drill to what? How do you know where to drill?
Center.
The center mark. Okay, so we're going to drill from the center mark this time. When you start out, you're going to measure out. Again, for your project, you're going to have a lot of specific holes that you got to put, obviously, and it's a very specific location. So I have a mark, and you can pretend I actually measured out. Right? And again, we use an X. Don't do a dot. Okay? You want an X so that you have a measurement from this edge and then this edge. Okay? My material underneath it, and I bring my bit down right onto the center of my center mark, and I hold it there, and I actually dig it into the material a little bit. Okay? Right here, it's called the spindle lock. This is going to lock it in the down position. You got to put a little bit of torque on it. Okay? What this is going to do is this is going to hold the pilot feed lever down into my material. Okay? And I can let go. Just make sure it's tight before you let go, otherwise it's going to spin up on you. Okay? Then I go ahead and clamp my material up. Okay, so I've clamped this thing down kind of with a bit here. I'm going to the left of me. Clamping it down nice and even. Plenty of pressure. Okay? Then obviously you don't want to start it in this position. Hold on to the lever. Release the lock. Let it return back to home. Okay? Now you're ready to drill. I'm confident in where it's going to be. Okay? It's clamped down. It's to my left. I have a hold on the lever. I've started it in the home position. You notice there's a little smoke coming off. Okay? It's hot. If you grab this bit right now, it may burn you. Okay? Because there's a lot of friction. Right? So you got to be aware. In fact, maybe we should have a little faster in the speed. But now if you notice, okay, when it's all said and done here, okay, I didn't get a blowout that time. Okay, so you see how that gives you a much better result? Okay, as opposed to,
That's a nice goal.
right? As opposed to, where's my other one? Okay? Alright? So you guys agree? Yeah. This is the one with the blowout, that's the one without. Okay?
Your finger will blow out.
And then again, when you're done, you take out the bit, okay, and you're going to put it back into the cabinet there. It's going to be a set of bits on the door. A couple other things you got to be aware of. First thing, this top is open. Okay? In here, there's a belt and all the pulleys that run this thing. The motor's back here. It has a pulley that runs over here to the spindle, and that's what works. This right here is the depth adjustment. If you want to drill to a certain depth, all right, just simply adjust the nut here. Okay, and I don't know if this one has inch marks on it, all right? But say I only want to go like, ½ inch into the material. Okay, see how it's going to stop the spindle? So maybe if I only wanted to drill a very shallow hole or didn't want to go all the way through, use the adjustment there. Okay, it can only go so far. Make sure you're always holding on to the handle. Questions? Your safety test. Excellent. Now, something I want to caution you on is the top of the chuck here has these teeth that hang down, especially if you're using a smaller bit. Nice. Okay, nice job on that. Okay. Go down through your material, but don't plunge the chuck into your material. Okay? And let me show you what happens when you do that. Okay? If you go down too deep and you plunge the top of the chuck into the material, you're going to get the ring of the chuck, okay, on your material, and it's not what you want to do. All right? It's going to leave a mark that, again, you're not going to be able to sand out. So if you go down well beyond what you want, okay, and you keep going, and you plunge that chuck into the material, and I've seen it on a lot of projects. People do that. Okay? See how I have that ring around my hole? Okay, you don't want that. All right, it's going to make your project look bad. All right? There are times when you want to do some type of counterbore. That's a different operation. This is not a cutting surface. Okay? It's a mistake when people do that. So I want you to understand. You don't want that ring around that. That means you went too far. So only go as deep as you think you need to go. And in fact, what I do sometimes is I match up the bit on my material to see how far the bit would actually have to go to get through it. Sometimes you'll notice the difference in feel, like if you have a softer wood underneath. Okay? Questions?